Hey y'all, so today is Money Monday and it's my 1 year student loan anniversary payoff. And I want to share some helpful tips with you on how you can be in this same position. So much is happening with student loan debt. I know it's a really big thing in our country right now. So let's get into this topic. But before I get started, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So let's take a quick dive into my student loan journey, y'all. So I got a scholarship in my undergrad to go to school for free. It was basically for students in my city who met certain financial guidelines where you could go to the local university for free, but it did not cover summers. So during the summer, I would take out a student loan. And I just kind of told myself, okay, you'll pay it back. You're going to be a teacher. And I knew that there was a repayment plan for teachers where if you gave 5 years at a Title I school, then they would pay up to $17,500 back. So I knew to stay within $17,500, right? So I graduated college. Yes, I had student loan debt. I had about $17,500 or about a little under that. I did do mainly subsidized loans. So that means that my loans didn't take on interest until I graduated. However, y'all, I did not pay on those student loans like everybody else. I was like, child, we'll figure that out later. It's not a big deal. I kind of already had it in my head, that if I pay it, I pay it. If I don't, I don't. So I was paying some things here and there, but of course it wasn't making like any type of dent in it because the interest had started to take over. I honestly can't even tell you, how much interest it was. We're not really paying attention to those things upon taking out student loans. So I graduated college in 2013. I'm not sure how many payments I made on my student loans, but it wasn't a lot, y'all. And then I ended up going to grad school. So in 2016, I got into grad school. I got another scholarship to go to grad school for free, but I had just moved to a new city. Didn't have a lot of savings after moving to the new city, and I was a teacher. So if you're a teacher, you know that you can kind of set your paycheck up to where they'll take out some each month and then you will live off of that during the summer. And I would always do that before. But I missed like the cutoff date for that when I moved. So I was really paranoid about not being able to live. I was in a new city. I lived in Miami. It was very expensive. So I took out a student loan during the summer, to just live off of. So I was in grad school for about close to 3 years, like 2.5, 3 years. So those first 2 summers, I did take out a student loan. I want to say I probably took out $5,000 to help me to get through the summer. And then my last year of grad school, I didn't take out a student loan. Thank God, because I probably still would have been paying that back. But basically that debt had accumulated to about like $30,000 now that I think back on it. So I was $30,000 in student loan debt, but I hadn't utilized my teacher forgiveness. So once I moved to Texas, I got all of my forms filled out. It actually got denied twice because I was missing things, but then the third time it got approved and I got $17,500 forgiven. So that left me with a balance of $14,180. Now, fast forward to my debt-free journey that started in September 2020. I made a decision that I was going to pay off all of my debt, and that included my student loan. So that was really in the height of, hey, Mr. Biden has taken over. He's talking about forgiving this student loan debt. My debt snowball, my student loans were the second to last thing. So they were before my car. So I'm like, fingers crossed, maybe Mr. Biden gonna come through and they'll be forgiven by then, right? But as y'all know, that did not happen because we still waiting to hear something. February 28th, though, is when the Supreme Court will start hearing arguments in regards to student loan forgiveness. So y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel because you already know your girl is going to be reporting daily, okay? But I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay off these student loans. I'm gonna just do it, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, right? So I had $14,180. I'm moving through my debt snowball. I get to my student loans in March or April of 2021. And I was, moving through them. I had 6 student loans, and they ranged from 1,000 and like some change, and the biggest one was 5,000. So I was moving through them. It probably took me about like a month and a half per student loan to pay them off. But that 5,000 student loan, that was my biggest one. And I believe that was my one from grad school. So it took me like 2 or 3 months to do that. But in January 2022, so last year, so I know we're like a little over it, but last year is when I paid off my student loans. I remember I was sitting at my desk. And the funny thing that happened was, so this was when a Fed loan was saying that, hey, we're hopping out the student loan game, your loans will be transferred soon. The day that I was going to pay off my student loans, I woke up that morning to check my email, and I got the email that said, your student loans are being transferred. I'm like, what? I log into my account and it won't let me like pay it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, are you serious? I don't want to have to wait like another 2 weeks for my file to be transferred, all these other things. But I called and they said, you can't make a payment, but you can do a pay off. So I actually was able to pay off my student loans. I paid them off right in my office, and it just felt so good. Just thinking about that feeling even now, I'm like, yes, ma'am, Dugan, you did that. When I started in March/April and I ended in January, that took me about 9 months. So it took me 9 months to pay off $14,180. So 9 months was really not that long. I was, really moving through it. How I did it was that I took on several side hustles, y'all. I was working 4 jobs. I had my 9 to 5. I was counseling folks on the side. I was teaching a class every weekend, and I was also tutoring students. I'm at the local community college, and I sold things. So that was like 5. And I did DoorDash and Uber Eats. So I was just like working, like I had 6 kids and we had to pay the bills, okay? I was doing whatever I could do to really pay off these student loans. So when people ask me, well, how did you do it? 9 months, it's pretty quick. I work from Sunday to Sunday, y'all. And that's what you really have to do, right? Number one, you have to use a debt snowball. So that really helped me to rank my student loans, because I didn't have just like a big student loan. And typically, in case you don't know this, when you're paying off student loans, there are multiple ones, right? So that helped me to rank my student loans from largest to smallest. I did not care about interest rates. All of the rates were set anyway because my loans were public loans, that they were not private. And I just kind of went down that list, knocking them out. Every time I got some extra money, I put it on there. So if I did DoorDash on Sunday, soon as I got paid, I put it on there. If I got paid for my classes on a Tuesday, then I put it on there. So every amount that I got went to paying off one of those student loans. So that's my advice to you. If you are really trying to hit this thing head on, you cannot do it on your regular income. You gotta get a side hustle, sometimes multiple side hustles. And don't be tempted, to spend that money on other things. The money that you're getting, put it on that loan. So let's talk about why I paid off my student loans, because I think that is so important, especially in our culture today of I ain't paying off them student loans. Oh, I'm going to take them to the grave. Ha. It is what it is. They ain't getting that money from me. These are things that we hear on a regular basis. And those are things that really shape the way that I felt about paying off my own student loan debt. They're really just like defeating self-fulfilling prophecies that you may be taking on that you don't even know. So it's important that in this culture, in this unpopular, in my unpopular opinion of why you need to pay your student loans off, you have to have a why, okay? Why do you want to do this? For me, my why was that I wanted to be financially free. I wanted my check to come to me. I wanted to be able to invest, save money, set up my future legacy for my children so they could have a college fund one day and not be in this situation. So everybody's why is different, but it is so important for you to establish that when you're paying off your student loans or any other financial thing that you're trying to pay off. Now, as somebody who is a current student, y'all know that I am a doctoral student. I'm working on my dissertation proposal right now. And, one thing that I thought about is, would I take on a student loan again? Would I do what I did in the past and take on a student loan because I knew that it would be forgiven? No, I would not do that. Listening to my journey, I took out those student loans because, they'll be forgiven. But then I took out more. Then I took out more. Then it was this big balance that I was like, oh my gosh, like how did I get here? I said that I wasn't going to do this. So no, I would not do that. It is a trap. You will fall deep into it and you will just get in a bigger hole like what happened to me. So as a current student, would I ever take out a student loan? No, no, and no. So as I look back today over my 1 year student loan debt payoff anniversary, I think one thing that I would tell myself or to anybody else who's really in the thick of it is keep going. Don't give up. If you need to rest, guess what? That is okay, but get right back into it. Keep working those side hustles. Keep putting every dollar, penny, nickel, quarter, dime to those loans. It adds up and you're going to do it. So that is definitely one encouraging word that I want to say to somebody who is paying off their student loans right now, or somebody who is kind of on the fence. Should I pay off my student loans? Yes, you should. You want to be free from this, right? You want to be able to set your family up with something that you did not have. So hop right into it. Pay off those student loans. And if you want to know how I paid off $43,000 in 22 months, be sure to check out this playlist here. Bye.